Welcome, Dreamedia family, to another incredible episode. Today, I'm with my regional sales manager, Chase Williams, and we're going to be discussing Palladiom shades from our favorite manufacturer, Lutron. If you're interested in doing automated shades, automated lighting, anything smart home theater, we are your one-stop shop for that 5-star service and the industry-leading brands, handling everything from full-blown system design to installation and after service with our VIP service programs. If you guys are interested in learning more, reach out today for a free video consultation. I can't wait to pass it off to Chase so that he can give you the lowdown on this shade kit. Let's go!
All right, Zach, thanks for bringing me on. So on previous videos, we've broken down fabric kits from Lutron, what we would bring to your house to show you some basic fabric collections. There are so many books. I could fill my truck with just fabric books if you wanted to look at everything, but we've got like an entry that kind of introduces you the different style weaves and fabrics. We busted out our triathlon portable shade, which has the pop-up window frame and can let you feel the shades and play with them in person, even though it's not the line we're talking about today. So these are my favorites. These are the Palladiom wire freeze. It's what you see in this home. It's what you'll see going up in the 20,000 square foot we're working on in Texas right now. It is by far the most elegant on wall. It doesn't require any treatment. No metal boxes, no carpenters making custom balances, no hiding wires. This is essentially what you see in the window. This is an example of a blackout Palladiom shade. With the eyelid bracket off because I pulled it down from the window. So I'll just break down the shade real quick and then we'll talk about what's in the Palladiom shade kit. So in this shade, this is my motorized motor side here. So I've got this little slider piece, which is how I install it. And then you see this white cap. That's my battery cap. So you just put 2 fingers in there and you're going to push up on it. And that releases the battery cap holster. And I am able to now take out the battery harness for this. So as a small shade, this has 4 D cells. Again, depending on what you go with, you might have as much as 12 in a shade. So you pull this out, replace your batteries, or install your batteries if it's a brand new shade. Push the battery cap in, slide it down, and you'll see the red and white flashing. That means the shade is powering up. So that's all that happens on the shade. As you can see, we have a real-life example of a hem bar 2, which I'm about to break down. But essentially, this is the roll that comes in as it comes. You'll have the 2 mounting plates, but I'm going to open up kind of our selection kit. So we're not going to go over any fabrics today. This is just styles within Palladiom. So first thing we're going to break out is our Lutron bracket box for the Palladiums. Really nicely set up by Lutron. It's very high-end, very protected. So this is my on-wall bracket. Essentially, they both look the same. So this is not my in-window wall jam bracket per se. This is more of a universal. This bracket could be hung to the ceiling. It could be hung outside of a window on the window frame. It can also be hung inside the window. Typically, for the window ones, the ones that go inside the window, and we'll show you those brackets. There's no back mounting plate here. Even though it would work, it just doesn't look that great. And then you screw in through the side. So this is their silver finish, and we'll dive into the finishes later. But as you can see, this is just like this component on the shade here, but with the back assembly on it. So you would come in here with the little screw, pop that out, and be able to service the shade. But that's an example of how clean finished this bracket is. It needs no other presentation. I've never had a client order silver, but silver is an option. So that's what our bracket is like that mounts for. Again, that's the on ceiling or on window frame mount, not the inside the eave of the window mount. Now we're going to go ahead and check out our rail material, which we have a real life example here of a finished rail, obviously. But you have a couple rail options with Palladiom. So we're going to break them out. This is the standard not a hem bar, but essentially you need something at the bottom of a shade to counterweight the shade so the shade follows the direction down or up and doesn't stray. If it was just a loose piece of fabric, it'd be pretty light. So these are the standard ones that come in black and silver. Now I like the more designer plates, which we have a whole video breaking down every option for the bottom rail, but this is our designer sealed. So this is the top end finish for a bottom rail on Lutron. And what that is there's a metal plate in here that's it's not, you can't see it because they'd wrap the fabric around and then press sealed it on all four corners. So it's essentially invisible. They also have a step down from this, which is a great option, which is the seal across the top, but 2 Lutron plates on the end. This is the thinnest and most cohesive look. But if you're going with one of the more standard options, this will break down your colors. And this is a great example of a light filtering sheer that's pretty dark. I'd be guessing this is a 3% fabric. Actually, this is probably a 5, judging by the fact that I can see my face clearly on the camera still. So that's a basic bottom rail. Here's our designer bottom rail. We went over the actual look of the mounting plate. Now we're going to go into the finishes. So why that's so important, you're picking out a Lutron Palladiom shade, you're going to obviously most importantly pick your fabric material. But like I said, you don't cover these up. These sit raw on the wall in the window the way they come from the factory. So you have to pick your metal plating to match your hardware. Almost everybody goes all black, but I'd like to at least show you guys the 4 most common non-custom. You can customize the metal finishes to match something in the home aesthetically at an upcharge, but these are the ones that, your options that are no extra charge on the shades and pretty much fit all of the needs. So let's go ahead and open this bad boy up. All right. So these are our 7 stock Palladiom colors here, and I'll bring them in closer to the image. But essentially we've got white, matte finish. We've got 2 different tiers of silver, 2 different tiers of black, and the blacks and silvers are gloss finish. They have a sheen to them. Then we got a brown, which I really like because you can see it's kind of reflecting light, but when you look at it, it's nowhere as glossy as the black or silvers. So this is kind of gives you the best of both worlds between a full matte color. And then we got our gold, if that's the look you're going for. So I'm going to swing these by, but these are the 7 stop colors that you can pick for the mounting brackets of the Palladiom shades to meet any of your needs. So right here, we've got our base silver. We've got our black iodized. We've got a brighter silver. We've got the matte white, which is metal. It's not plastic. It's just coated that way. Then we've got a kind of a hybrid of like a black and brown iodized finish, just a lighter, I guess you'd call this like a dark gray. Then we've got our brown, which is one of my favorites because it doesn't reflect light shine the same. You can see the gold in the black one, and that brown one barely catches light, more of that matte finish. It's nice, as well as a classic gold. So those are your options. Once we've gotten past fabric selection when it comes to Palladiom shades, since we broke down all the fabrics, broke down all of that, I did want to put out a short little video on just the aesthetic design of the metal finishing. This is super important again, because this is going to sit in the window and be visible. So what I'd like to do now real quick as we wrap this up is to have Zach follow me into the room where this shade came out of. You guys can see what the bracket looks like for an inside window mount, because again, this is a ceiling or an on window frame, like outside of the window frame on the header mount. So we'll show you those, and I'll plug this guy back in and then we'll run it. So let's grab it. All right, so let's get this window back in. So real quick, we're just going to take a look at the mounting brackets for the in-window jamb. So that is my idler. And as you can see, there's no back plate sticking out unneededly there. And then that is the motor side. Now one looks a little weird. Can you turn around? I can show you why. but that won't be visible. It'll be completely plated once the window's installed. That's just how we remove the shade or pull it out for battery access. You can see how these could be hung more recessed into the window, right? It looks like they're sitting about an inch proud. Now, the reason for that is once this is mounted, that's all the room I have to slide. So if I was to have bumped this window all the way back in the frame, I would not be able to remove the window. I'd have to pull out the whole shade to change the batteries. Whereas now I can access the battery compartment without touching the shade once it's installed. So again, this is my drive side. And that weird clip latches up into that one Zach showed you. And that's my idler side for the more finished looking bracket. So I'm gonna jump up here, pop that in real quick. So we're gonna take our idler side and plug that into our idler mount there. And as you see, that's just a mechanical fitting. I'm gonna hold this side just to make sure it doesn't slide. And then this is probably a little tricky to show, but this plate, go ahead and grab that, and now the shade is installed. So that's what I was talking about the slider. That's why that bracket looks so weird. And this would allow me to go ahead and access my battery compartment without pulling the window out of the shade. So when you pull it open, it's gonna look like that. It's flashing red and green because it's powering on. So essentially you're gonna stick your fingers in, pull away from where that cord is. And if sometimes the batteries will stay stuck in there. All you have to do is push back against the spring and they'll re-pop back forward for you. You pull this out, you go ahead and replace your batteries. And these are bendable. Like let's say we had a wall right here. Something that's great about these is you can actually put a bend into these battery harnesses without hurting them for tough to reach areas. Because again, remember some of those have 12 batteries. So they're a good bit longer than that. We go ahead and latch that fitting. It's gonna flash red and green. That means we're powered. You push that back into the window. It will take probably close to 30 seconds to come back online fully, but we should gain control really quick. And it's back online, back on the Lutron system after the battery switch. So.
And it automatically knew that it was in the lowered state.
Yep.
Interesting.
As soon as it's powered on, it's checking with the whole processor. All the states are reset. And it remembers its levels, even with me manhandling it accordingly. So as you can see, we stopped above the bottom of the window here to make sure that we don't hit this roller. So we've done that all the way around. That's one consideration. You're putting any motorized shade and you've got these window knobs. There are other solutions that are more low profile than this. The homeowner really likes these crank handles. So whether the crank handle's up or down, the shade doesn't bump it, and you can go ahead and open up your window. So
perfect.
I hit it twice. So anyway, that's a quick breakdown of Palladiom shades in a home, as well as battery maintenancing, but more important, showing you the aesthetic choices with the metal finishes and what the brackets look like for both of the most common installations, on wall, on ceiling, or inside window jamb, which are these really clean low profiles. And if you are wondering, this setup right here is a Lutron wire feed Palladium with a blackout material and the black iodized finish on the mounting hardware. So thanks for joining me. I hope you guys found inspiration from this. If you are getting a home and you're going to consider shades, talk to us earlier. There are more price effective options that can be covered from Lutron. Those typically happen earlier in the process in a home construction. If you've got a whole home, it's done, you don't plan on doing any construction, or you just like the looks, the Palladium are the line for you. They're the cleanest. They're my favorite, and I'm telling you, the battery life is really not a problem with these more Lutron shades. 4 to 8 years now on some of these models. Depending on how much you use them, you're probably gonna be sitting in that 4-year range. More likely in a second home like this, we're getting a ton out of these batteries, obviously, since they're not moving a good time of the year. So thanks for joining me again, but reach out for a free video consultation. Let's get that Lutron journey started today.
All right, big thanks, Chase, for giving our viewers the rundown. Chase is an absolute genius when it comes to smart homes. That's why he is in charge of our custom integration division here at Dreamedia, high in the Rocky Mountains. All of these multi-million-dollar homes, I mean, we got homes from couple million all the way to 40 million. They require very specific products and recommendations for every single part in the home. And you really need guys like Chase, guys on our team, to guide you through all of the options, because it's so overwhelming. I mean, even when I did my own shades for my own house, I had a lot of choices and it felt a little bit overwhelming. So luckily I consulted with my internal team here at Dreamedia and we found the perfect ones. Maybe we could show a little B-roll of my house. I'm running a different manufacturer, Screen Innovations. They have these lithium-ion batteries with a magnetic charging port, and I really wanted that from an ease of use and charging standpoint, because every single shade throughout the entire home, similar to this one, did not have wiring, and I liked their nano boxes. Their nano boxes are a little different from these Palladiums that don't have any box, which you can get boxes for these Palladiums, but I specifically chose the SI shades and installed those throughout every inch of my home. What I'm getting at is these windows have not only the fabric options, the railing option, the mounting options, the different box options or fascias, but also different series within the brand. So like you heard Chase talking about Lutron and all these various different series like Palladium, which is his favorite. We're the specialist. We've been doing this for over a decade, and that's what we're here for, is to consult you guys, because we've been through the ringer on so many different homes and so many different styles. Even we're doing like a 30-foot automated curtain down in Texas, a drapery track. So we're constantly trying to put in more industry leading and technology forward homes. That drapery system in combination with the automated shades is probably the best that Dreamedia could offer today. But when that room is completed, it's a primary bedroom that opens up to the pool deck. It's going to be sick, because we're going to have that retractable curtain go into a false wall to where it completely disappears, and then you have your shade options as well. In my home, I went with the SI Nano shades, automated shades throughout every inch of the home, and then I did curtains as well as what are they called? The shears. Kind of like at a hotel, a sheer just kind of lets a little bit of light through, so my wife can close those curtains and not use the automated shades, which in all the primary bedrooms are blackout material, and still let some light in. Now she can lower the shade if the sun's coming in harsh to block out some of the harsh light, or if it's a movie night, we can drop the shade, the blackout shade, we can drop the sheer and the heavy thick curtain as well, and we will have zero light even in the middle of the day. So there's a lot of options, guys, and we can work with your designers and we can create 3D renderings and animation fly-throughs for our Dreamedia Plus customers to ensure that we bring these dreams to life. If you guys are interested in learning more about Dreamedia Plus's program or doing custom integration in your home, reach out today for a free consultation. Our specialist would love the opportunity to earn your business and explain all of the options and hand curate a package specific to your needs and budget. If you like this video, guys, be sure to give us a big thumbs up, and don't forget to smash that subscribe button down below for more. Till next time, this is Zach and Chase with Dreamedia out here high in the Colorado Rocky Mountains. Thanks for tuning in today, guys. We'll catch you on the next one.